Around about this time of year when fall starts getting closer, I always get a hankering to build some kind of fur trade era mountain man trapper's knife, trade knife, the ones with the curly maple handle scales on them and maybe the decorative pin sections. Well, this batch right here was a bit impromptu, but it was something I was wanting to do. These pieces of steel are 5/32 52-100 high carbon steel. I was planning to use them for something else, but I kind of messed the dimensions up a little bit, so I decided to go ahead and forge out this batch of Mountain Man knives. Normally I'd cut my stock in a diagonal manner, and that would facilitate forging up the tip of the knife, giving a continuous grain of steel along the edge. But this method works pretty well also. Once we have this rough shaped tip forged in, we can go to the power hammer and begin forging in the full tang handle. All of these operations can be done by hand on the anvil with a hammer, but when you're doing quantity and trying to make a living at it, a power hammer is certainly an advantage. Using a piece of 3/4 round rod to forge in the finger choil or the drop guard to the full tang design, and then we'll start forging out the handle. You can see here how finicky the 5/32 stock is. It really wants to fold over and curl over. You have to be really careful you don't create a cold shut in your material. This is why I don't typically forge steel this thin, but we're making it work. Once we've got the tang forged down widthwise a bit, we can begin lengthening it and tapering it. The tapered tang is a nice addition to any high-end custom knife, and when you're forging, it's a very simple process to do. It also reduces the weight on the knife where it doesn't need to be. Once we've got our handle forged mostly to completion, we can clean it up with the hand hammer on the anvil, and then we're ready to do the finishing forging processes on the blade. I'm not forging the bevel in on these because that's not necessary and it's not part of the project that we're doing here. I am forging in the distal taper to the blade, which is going to give a nice finish and dimensions to the blade. There's plenty of stock at the edge to avoid decarb. And now, last but not least, we can stamp in the northwest tilted compass stamp on this blade, and the forging process is finished. We can move on to the heat treating and cleaning up on the grinder.